welcome viewers. We have Mr. Sagar with us from General Labs. Mr. Sagar,
Hi.
welcome to Business World.
Hello.
Give our viewers a quick takeaways from the session that you just had.
Firstly, thank you for inviting us to the event. And with the event, actually, we were having a debate kind of stuff. And what I think is people needed those kind of stuff. So it was a beautiful session wherein we had a few people speaking for the motion, few people speaking against the motion. And it was like how susceptible NFTs are. Is it a suspect investment? We discussed a lot of points about like what are the use cases of NFTs, how it can be used in the businesses, how brands can use it, how brands can use it for the community, how communities can use it to create DAO. And there are a lot of stuff. So it's an exciting avenue to say it from the front. Again, there'll be pros and cons for every technology, but for me, I think I'm against the motion which says that NFT is a suspect investment, because NFT has a huge potential. Again, when we have a physical asset built around NFT, it's technically a real estate plot that you are selling it as an NFT. If you have a proof of authenticity or certification, it's a certificate for a Louis Vuitton bag or any other, or even in the pharma industry, when we talk about in the pharma, the entire supply chain management has been tracked on the blockchain itself, so that there is no tampering happening around it. So those are the benefits that we see it. Again, there might not be a use case big enough as of now, but it is definitely the future that we are seeing. And decentralization or the community-based approach, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, that's what we are moving towards.
All right. So, talking from the tokenization point of view, how do you see the regulatory aspect in India working towards it? Is it for or is it against?
So, as of now, there are no regulations when we talk about it, or I think the Indian government, or there is a very much
perception of government.
The perception of government as such is like they want to use the blockchain technology, they want to use the tokenization. We have seen this particular thing with the storing of credit card information as well, right? You might have seen the credit card information now tokenized and they are saved on blockchain. There is a CBDC coming up. The Telangana government is using Sandbox, and there are a lot of other.
CBDC also they have molded in a way that it has been regulated by.
Yes, so they want to use the technology, but on a centralized format, and not exactly the decentralized way that it comes into picture. But again, the centralization also gives a lot of benefits to it. At the end of the day, it's the technology that we are looking at, and the use cases that it can bring in, the benefits that it can bring in, or the problems that it can solve.
So, do you think it is because of the accountability factor that the government is, playing a role in terms of regulations? Because at the end of the day, it is somehow susceptible to the attacks and all. How do you see that?
Definitely. See, with great power comes great responsibility. That we have heard about it, right? So let's say, for example, as of now, we are dependent on the institutions. I have a few money lying around. I'll give it to a bank. Bank will give me the interest. Now let's convert it into DeFi scenario, right? I have a few money. I'll lend it to someone based on some collateral, or depending upon it. It's me who has made the decision of lending the money. Again, I'll be getting a lot more in return. So that's the benefit, the perks that I'm getting. But again, I'll be responsible if something happens to it. So it comes hand in hand.
So
because
there is a slight amount of risk factor.
We cannot say it as a risk because what banks have been doing is they have been taking the accountability that even if that guy doesn't pay off, they'll be the one. Now that's the reason you're getting, a part of what you should be getting. But if you're smart enough to counter that particular thing, if you're smart enough with your investments, if you're smart enough with your lendings or whatever you do, this is just one example when we're talking about lendings, right? So in that front, it can give you more gains than the normal kind of stuff.
All right. So last question, how do you see that, because in order to make it accessible to the mass, as you rightly mentioned, that people
Correct.
need to be more aware. How can we reduce the complexity in this technology?
Correct. So it's not up to the people to, as we were discussing, it's not up to the people to adapt to technology, but up to the technology to adapt to people.
Be assisted.
Right. So when we talk about NFTs or crypto or in any such use cases, smart contracts, take smart contracts for example. There are beautiful use cases in a way that smart contracts can be used. But again, people are facing difficulties because of the crypto front. They do not know how to create wallet. They do not know how to interact with the cryptocurrencies and stuff. As a brands, it's not just me or everyone. The mindset should be to creating something which makes it simplifies for the people. So we do not know. Let's say, for example, an end consumer doesn't know how the internet works or how the Hotstar streaming, but they're still consuming the content, right? NFT or blockchain should become similar, wherein they are underlying the technology and there is a interface layer on top of it, which is very much similar to what the people have been using it. So they can make the payment. Trust factor remains same and the acceptance remains same. Plus whatever they have been doing, they shouldn't change it much. So they can do the payments with cards. So that's one example instead of paying it with crypto and that kind of stuff. So that's just one example that coming in doing. But there are a lot of other examples. But again, it comes down to the brands that they have to adapt to the people and their requirements and create a product depending on that.
So it is basically, we can say that if there is a good B2B approach towards the blockchain thing, then the people seeing the good brand, the heavyweights trusting the technology, they themselves will opt for it.
Yes, exactly. The responsibility is on the brands, on building communities, on providing good products, on maintaining the communities, on providing the utilities. So it's up to the brands to promote this particular new era that we are moving into.
Okay, so what people want is just an example, a good module that they can trust to. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much
for talking to us.